What is going on, everybody? It's Nothing But Skills, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you guys how to get the Exotic SMG, the Lady Death, probably one of the sexiest looking guns in the game. And thankfully to Rogue Gaming UK, he was able to give me some of this content because I still have not had this drop for me. I've had it drop for multiple friends of mine when we do this route. I've had friends get it. I just haven't had a chance of getting it. So we're going to take a look at the talents. We're going to take a look at how it works. And then I'll show you guys exactly what you guys need to be doing to give you the best chance of getting this. So the Lady Death, this one dropped with 12% SMG damage, 17.5% critical hit chance. And then it had a God roll 6% damage to armor. Now the talent that makes this weapon so good is Breathe Free. When moving, gain 4 stacks per second or 8 stacks if sprinting, up to 40 stacks total. Each round fire consumes a stack, amplifying damage by 60%. Kills grant 20% movement speed for 10 seconds. So you can see how this weapon is actually really good for you run and gunners. The one thing that is a downside to it is that it only has a 32 round mag on it. And if we just want to take a quick look at some gameplay before I show you guys how you guys get this. If you look at this character right here, right, like we're pushing towards, and as soon as you aim in, you'll see that there's a stack, right, that constantly goes down. You'll get a better look at it in just a second once we go towards this boss right here. So the boss is going to move to the right. As soon as he starts to scope in, you're going to see that there's a 40 stack to it. Look right now. Right when he scopes in right here, there's a 40 next to his gun. And as he shoots, it starts to go down. Now, that stack, remember, it's 60% amplified damage. And that's why it's a pretty cool talent to have. And once you get that kill, you see how fast you start to move, and that's what makes it even better. Now, where does this weapon drop, right? So this weapon drops in open world bosses. Well, it can drop anywhere, right? There's a small chance that any exotic can drop anywhere in the world, but the higher chance that most of the people that I know that have gotten this weapon have gotten from open world bosses in New York City. Yes, New York City, doing either bounties or doing the open world bosses. Now, from what I've been told is that they are on a 30-minute timer. Now, I don't know if you only get one boss to spawn within that 30 minute after each kill, or if you can get maybe 2 to 3, because they're over, I want to say 13 different locations. I have 10 locations I've figured out, and 2 of them I have not been able to get a boss spawn there, but people have confirmed that there are bosses that spawn there. So I want to say there's probably about 11 to 12, maybe even 13 different spots. So what we're going to do is we're going to get into those spots right now, so that way you can kind of see where they are. The first boss I'm going to show you is going to be located in Battery Park. Now the exact location will be pinpointed right here on your map. Now this is just west of the Liberty Island mission, and then right here under the Christmas market. So it's in this general vicinity right now. So I'm going to run over there real quick just so you see. I actually ran from the control point waterfront all the way over here, because the waterfront control point isn't that far. So if you run all the way to the middle of the park, almost you just see a bunch of grass, a couple trees. The boss will spawn in this area. You see where there's like that little red flare right there, well, red light. In this general area is where you guys are going to find the boss. And when you do find him, there he goes. So that is the boss right there. So in this general area, the boss likes to patrol with his guys. The one thing to keep in mind is the bosses won't always be the same. I think these are cleaners right here. Sometimes they're Rikers, sometimes they're Black Tusk. They definitely do rotate, so don't expect to see the same exact bosses that I have that you guys get. So it will rotate. Boss number 2 is going to be just to the west of Wall Street mission. So just to the west, if you look, like there's like a little triangle right here. You know where our last boss was? To the north of him, there's a little gap right there. This is where you want to go. This is where you're going to find boss number 2. So right in this general area, this is where you guys will find him. And this time it was Black Tusk. So that was the boss. And it reminded me of Buddy and Lucy. So it was actually one of those mechanical dogs. This is going to be where boss number 2 spawns, and like I told you, the boss may differ. You may not always get the same boss. It just depends on the boss that it gives you. But yeah, look for this empty fountain. You should find the boss sitting in there with some enemies guarding him, and that is boss number 2. So let's get into boss number 3. So the third boss spawn location is going to be located just east of waterfront location. You see where the supply drop activity is? anytime you see a red activity there, anytime you see an activity period there, you don't want to really go there and look for a boss. I would recommend clearing out the activity and then coming back later. I've had issues where there won't be any spawn at all. So nothing will spawn because you have to clear out the activity. As soon as I clear out the activity, I go somewhere else, I come back, there is a boss there. So remember, the bosses aren't always going to spawn, but I feel like when there's an activity, they have a less chance of spawning. So we're gonna find the boss. Look, as soon as you leave this control point, you head a little bit to the east, you go north, and then you'll see right in this area. If you did the hunter mask, you'll recognize this area, right? So if you did the hunter mask, you will 100% recognize this area because this area had the flags that you had to raise, and this is where we're gonna fight this boss. Boss spawn location number 4 is gonna be right here at the supply drop. So if you look at this Brooklyn Bridge control point, you come all the way down right here. There is a nice location. I always find a boss here. The only time bosses don't spawn here, like I told you, a lot of times you get propaganda activities there, you get control area there. That's when you won't get. So you need to make sure you clear that and then come back. But as long as there is no mission there, like the supply drop, like I pinpointed, this boss will spawn. This time there was actually 2 bosses. There are 2 different bosses, and that means you have a better chance of getting more exotics, right? So boss number 5, his spawn location will be in these underground tunnels. So this underground tunnel, this is the residential building safe house, and just to the east of it you have the underground tunnel. So all you have to do is go in the tunnels and circle around, and you will find a boss in there hanging out. He spawned in there, I want to say both times I've gone down there and looking for him, he's been down there. He's just been chilling down there. So if you're looking for this boss right here, remember, it could be a random, it might not be the same exact boss, but if you're looking for him, he has spawned in underground pretty much every time I've gone. So I have gotten pretty lucky with this boss spawn right here. Boss number 6 spawn location is just northeast of Animal Shelter Safe House, right here, exactly where I'm pinpointing. So you see the Animal Shelter Safe House. If you go just northeast of it, right here, and then he spawns right where you see this little statue is where you are going to find this boss. It's in this general vicinity right here where the statue is. This is where you will find him. Just south of City Hall control point, right here where I'm pinpointing, there is a boss that spawns in this location. So you see the City Hall control point, you want to go south of it, and what you want to do is just go towards the road. There's going to be some roads, different levels, and you want to take the under ramp, and the under ramp road is going to take you directly to where you want to be with him. So once you get to an area that has a bunch of different roads, some going up, some going underneath, you need to go underneath like I'm doing right now. So you have the highway, you're going underneath it, and directly in front of me, right when you go into this passageway right here, he's going to spawn in this general area. So once you see that purple guy, most likely you have him, and my boss was sitting on the top. He was sitting up there. So yeah, that is the boss, and this is where you get boss number 7. Boss number 8 will spawn right here where these components are. If you see where Stranded Tanker is, that mission, there's a components to the left of it. Right here in this general area, all around this area, you can probably find yourself another boss that tends to run around there. So either spawn at that mission or spawn at the control point just north of here, and then run towards it. And as you guys get close to it, if you look right now, there's a public execution right where those components are. So right where that public execution is, there is a component. So as I'm running up from the west, right, I'm coming from the west, I notice they are already fighting. And usually if they are fighting another faction, there's a boss that's tied to that. And if we look around, we're going to see the boss come to the right. It's going to be one of those, another one of those mechanical dogs. And he's going to be right here on the right side, right there. So that's how you guys know. That's usually a good sign. If you see 2 factions fighting, there's usually a boss involved that's leading in the way. So boss number 9, they're saying if you go to the base of operation in New York City and you just follow the road all the way to the west, there's a territory activity. They're saying on this road right here, just west of it, right where this is, they're saying in this general area, there is a boss to spawn. Now, I've cleared this out multiple times. I've gotten red enemies, I've gotten purple enemies, 1 or 2 gold enemies, but I've never got a name boss. But this is the exact location where they're saying you would get a boss. So this would be boss spawn number 9. And for the final boss spawn location, number 10, they're saying that he spawns in this general area right here. Now, I have not had any luck getting him to spawn, and I've tried different things. I circled the area. I spent about like 3 hours in one session just going for this boss, and nothing ever happened. But I have gotten confirmation that one does spawn in this area. Now, if it's not in this general area here, maybe to the north where that question mark is, I've heard people say a boss spawns there. So there are over, I want to say these are the 10 locations that I know of. There might be 11, 12, 13, but these are guaranteed. I showed you guys a video and I have seen them, and the other two were confirmed by other people that I know that they have spawned the boss there. So if you guys have any questions, let me know. If you guys are still hunting for the Lady Death like I am, well, good luck, and hopefully this video helps. I will see you guys in the next one, but until then, nothing but skills out.